I tried to upgrade my room the normal way. New sheets, a plant, maybe a lamp. 2 days later, my room still felt like a room. So I gave myself one rule. Every upgrade has to actually change how the room behaves, not just decor, automation, atmosphere, comfort, and a little bit of, how is that even real? I picked 16 gadgets that do exactly that. And by the end of this video, this plain room turns into a full-on 2026 setup. It starts at night because that's where most rooms fail. I used to fall asleep with my phone in my hand and wake up already tired. So I swapped the doom scrolling for a sleep routine that runs itself, the Hatch Restore 3. It's a sunrise alarm clock and sound machine, but the real magic is that it's phone-free. You set your routine once, then it handles the whole wind down to sleep sounds to gentle wake-up loop like a trainer for your brain. Now here's the part that made it feel expensive. The morning doesn't start with a brutal alarm. It starts with light. And right when that soft sunrise hits, my curtains move on their own. That's the SwitchBot Curtain Opener 3. You clip it onto your curtain rod, and suddenly your curtains become a smart device. Silent mode is the cheat code. So instead of a loud motor yanking fabric like a robot wrestling match, it just glides. You can time it, tap it, or voice it. Open the curtains feels ridiculous the first time you say it, and then you never want to go back. But automation gets messy fast if every gadget has its own app, so I added a command center. SwitchBot Help 3 is basically the brain that turns a pile of smart stuff into one system. It can control SwitchBot devices, a ton of IR appliances, and it gives you a little screen that shows live info like temp and humidity right on your desk. And the knob makes it feel like you're controlling your room the way you control a car. Turn, click, done. Okay, now we need power. Because the funniest thing about smart rooms is that half your devices are still dumb until you plug them into something smart. The SwitchBot Smart Plug Mini 15A is the simplest upgrade with the biggest ripple effect. Now my fan, my lamp, even the I only use it sometimes appliances can follow schedules. And it has energy monitoring, so you can actually catch the stuff quietly eating your electricity in the background. And since this is a real room in real life, charging is always a mess. There's always one cable that's too short, one that disappears, and one that only works if you bend it like you're trying to unlock a secret level. So I switched to a foldable 3-in-1 magnetic wireless charger, one of those 2025 MagSafe style stands. Phone, watch, earbuds, one spot. When it's time to travel, it folds up and stops your bag from looking like a spaghetti crime scene. Now the vibe shift. I wanted lighting that can do clean workspace and movie night without me swapping bulbs or dragging lamps around. So I tried one of these new 2026 smart table lamps that's basically a Swiss Army gadget. It's a lamp, a wireless charger, a Bluetooth speaker, and an alarm clock, controlled by app, remote, buttons, whatever you feel like. It sounds like one of those too many features gadgets, but it's actually perfect for a bedside setup because it replaces 4 things at once. At this point, the room is starting to feel alive, but it still feels empty. Not minimalist, empty. So I added something I didn't realize I needed: living memories. The Pexar by Lexar Wi-Fi digital picture frame is dangerously wholesome. People can send photos to it instantly, so it turns into this little portal that updates itself. And because it's a 2K display with anti-glare, it doesn't look like a cheap digital billboard. It looks like a real frame that happens to be connected to your family. Then I went one step weirder. I added a Frameo Wi-Fi digital picture frame with a neon light edge. So now the frame is also mood lighting, like a soft LED halo behind your photos. Some of these frames even pull weather and act like a clock, so it becomes a glanceable corner of the room, not just a slideshow. Alright, comfort. Because the fastest way to ruin a nice room is dry air and mystery smells. For air cleaning, the AirVersa AP2-2025 is a quiet workhorse. It's the kind of gadget you forget about until you leave it off for a week and suddenly you remember what dust and allergies feel like. I like it because it's built for actual daily use. Set it and let it run, especially if you have pets or you live somewhere dusty. Then I fixed the other half, humidity. If your lips get dry, your skin gets tight, and you wake up with that sandpaper throat feeling, you don't need another pillow. You need a humidifier that can actually keep up with the room. The Dreo 16L Smart Humidifier is built for that. Big tank, long runtime, and the mist output is strong enough to actually change the air, especially overnight. And once you've had your room at the right humidity, you realize how much comfort was missing before. Now, scent. This is where rooms go from nice to I want to stay here. I found a smart scent diffuser that's designed for big spaces and can be programmed in an app. So instead of blasting fragrance like a fragrance grenade, it can pulse lightly on a schedule. Morning can smell clean, evening can smell warm, and you can stop it from running when you're not home so you're not wasting oils. Okay, the room is functional. Now it's time to make it ridiculous. This is the part where you stop explaining your room to guests and start saying, just watch. First, turn your ceiling into space. The 2025 newest 8th Gen Planetarium Projector is basically a tiny home observatory. It uses those film discs, so you can swap scenes like solar system, galaxies, nebula vibes. And because it's a focused projection, it looks sharper than the cheap dots everywhere star projectors. Lights off, projector on, and your room stops being a room. But I wanted something more alive. Not just stars, movement. So I added a 2025 update Northern Lights projector that comes with film discs and built-in white noise. This one hits different because it's atmosphere plus sound. You put it on during a late-night edit, a chill gaming session, or even just background while you clean, and suddenly your room feels like a little private lounge. Now, my favorite I can't believe this exists built, a 3D Thundercloud Ceiling Kit. Yes, a cloud. On your ceiling, with light effects that mimic lightning plus music sync. The 2025 upgraded kits make it easier to assemble, and the effects are more controllable than the older DIY ones. So you can do soft storm flickers for ambiance, or full dramatic thunder mode when you want your room to look like a movie video set. And because that cloud setup is a bigger project, I wanted one smaller light but can flip the mood instantly. That's the NarrowPay 2025 Sunset Lamp Projector. It's basically a portable golden hour button. You can splash warm light across a wall, spin it, change colors, and go from plain room to content studio in seconds. It's the kind of light that makes your camera look better before you even touch your settings. Now, the room is automated, comfortable, and borderline unfair. But there was one last problem I didn't want to admit. I don't always feel relaxed in my room if I'm worried about my stuff. So I added a gadget that feels like something from a spy movie. A biometric safe that also works like a nightstand upgrade. Fingerprint access, a drawer-style setup, and this one even has wireless charging on top with a little display that can show temperature and humidity. So your valuables are locked, your phone is charging, and the safe is just part of the furniture. And that's the difference between buying random gadgets and building a room system. Everything in here either saves time, upgrades comfort, or changes the atmosphere so hard it feels like you moved. If you want the exact products I used, I'm putting the Amazon list in the description. And if you're building your own 2026 room, tell me the one gadget you swear by, because at this point, I'm convinced the future is just your room doing what you meant to do.